I'm gonna be telling y'all about radicals today because I'm gonna be doing prime factorization part 2 soon, but I don't really know exactly when because I'm a little lazy. All right, but anyways, we're just gonna get into it. A lot of y'all probably already know about like perfect square radicals like 64 and like radical like 81 and how these just equal to regular whole numbers. It's pretty easy to understand, but I'm just gonna be telling you about some radical rules that you need to know. Probably like upcoming, like I think you start learning about this stuff in like 8th grade or something. I don't know. So first I'm gonna be telling you about how to simplify radicals. There are some radicals that are just where they just give you an easy whole number, but then there are also some radicals that you can simplify, but they don't give you an easy like whole number. If you simplifying radicals, at the end you are going to get a form that is looking something like b radical a, as in how radical 8 equals 2 radical 2. And I'll explain this. It's because radical 8 gets broken down into radical 2 times radical 4. So, because radical 2 times radical 4 is radical 8. And so when you break this down, you realize that this radical 4 can be simplified, just fully simplified into a whole number. So it turns into radical 2 times 2. And when multiplying a radical with the whole number, you just low-key just smush the whole number on the other side of the radical. So you get 2 radical 2. That's why radical 8 equals 2 radical 2. All right. Another example would be radical 12, where you have two different ways to really split into this. You have 2 and 6, and you also have 3 and 4. What really matters though is knowing like what numbers you're going to break it down into. For example, if you tried breaking it down into radical 2 times radical 6, you're kind of stumped because none of these are simplifiable. None of these are perfect squares. 2 and 6 are perfect squares, and you can't even simplify them down further. So I guess if we try radical 4 times radical 3, we know that 4 gets broken down into 2. So 2 times radical 3, and this becomes 2 radical 3. So radical 12 simplified is 2 radical 3. All right. One last example for this video that I'm going to give y'all is 24. 24 has a lot of factors. So I'm going to try breaking it down into, this is just preference in my opinion. I think I want to break it down into radical 4 times radical 6. Because you know I'm used to that radical 4 at the start where it just instantly gets turned into a 2 and you can just multiply with the other radical. So this equals 2 times radical 6, and this equals 2 radical 6. And yeah, it's pretty simple as that. I need to show y'all some radicals that feel like they're simplifiable, but not. This goes with radical 6, you can't simplify this. Radical 10, you can't simplify this. Radical 14, you can't simplify either. And I think radical 22, you can't even simplify either. I think. Can you? No, you can't. You literally can't. So yeah, just beware of those, and you'll be chill. Next video, I'm gonna do more radicals. I don't know when I'm gonna do prime factorization part 2. I low-key don't want to do that. That topic's kind of booty.